I had mercy on him.
He
He needs to buy me lunch and dinner for 1 week. I'm sure he's listening somewhere. You owe me lunch and dinner for 1 week, babe.
If you're laughing somewhere, I'm sure he's on his way out of town.
Possibly. Welcome to the show, guys.
Yes.
We're live on Facebook and YouTube, so make sure to join us there and leave us your thoughts on the live feed. Also, leave us your comments on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM. You can use the hashtag Nigeria Info MCF. That helps us find your tweet so we can also share it on the show. Okay, let's start with this one from the Vanguard newspaper, and it really got a lot of comments on the first half of Dailies today. 20 generals may go as Buhari appoints Farouk Yahya as new Chief of Army Staff.
Okay, at least now we have a Chief of Army Staff.
Yes.
And it is sad that, in making that appointment, we're going to lose the services of 20 experienced generals, because the way it works, the tradition in the military is you appoint a service chief, all those who are senior to him, must go.
Because he can't have a senior.
He can't have a senior, yes, he can't have. But I don't think it's I think it's just a tradition. And them wondering how we found ourselves in a position where, in appointing a chief of army staff, we are losing 20 generals.
Yeah.
What I thought, and when Captain Blade was here, is that what I thought happens is when you appoint a chief of army staff, you immediately have 2, 3, 4 like that. So it's seamless.
Yeah.
And they'll probably be of the same course.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought that is what would happen. But for us to keep losing generals and top personnel, both in police and whatever, because of these appointments, maybe we should take a second look. I believe that, and I could be wrong, but something tells me that a man who is a chief, who is a general already, a major general, can definitely be a service chief.
Yeah.
Yes. But we've made it political, and so what we do have, of course, is having to lose 20 generals to this exercise. Say his appointment, his regular cost 37, and that wipes out cost 35 and 36. One of the generals who might likely be retired, had spoken to somebody who spoke to me yesterday. So he was caught completely unawares. He wasn't ready to go. He's ready to give his all, and so on and so forth. But hey, they're going to show him the door. What that also does to the morale of the rest of the army and whatever. I'm not a soldier. I don't know how this works out. It was reported in one of the publications online that the president had to take into consideration various things, religion, had to take into consideration ethnic, and so on and so forth. But at the end of the day, we still have ourselves with Northerners being in a far, far more majority at the top hierarchy of the of our security services, and we still don't have somebody from the southeast. That is what I'm saying. I'm not saying that the southeast is natural, but we still don't have one at that. But the president has the right to do, and he will do so. A lot of people will criticize him, and I've said the one thing I feel about Buhari is that he can be extremely rigid. If he wants to do something, he does it. You can cry from now till the end of your life. He's not going to budge. So we just have to manage this gentleman till 2023, when the Constitution will give us an opportunity to appoint another. So anyway, it's good luck. We congratulate Major General Yahya, who I hear has a nice sense of humor. Whatever that brings to military operations, I don't know. But
well, one of my callers earlier hinted, and someone also sent a message to say this retiring these major generals could do us a disservice. It was saying they could feel so dissatisfied that they could give away intelligence. Is that something that binds them to loyalty to Nigeria?
No. First of all, I disagree with the word could. I'd rather say will. Will definitely do us a disservice, but not in the manner that is thinking. I think it will. No, I think that by the time you get to Major General, whatever happens to you, you're disciplined enough not to want to, to hit back. To get to Major General anyway is a political position in itself.
Yeah.
And therefore, you should be well prepared for political considerations to move you either here or there. But what I do, I just feel uncomfortable. I don't think they'll be angry or whatever. But I'm wondering what it does to the morale of the rest of the troops. They are gone. They are bloody civilians like us now.
They are.
Yeah, but to the rest of the troops, I wonder what happens. I wonder what the political consequence would be within the military. But like I said, I'm not a soldier. I'm not a security expert. The best we can do is, and the president has the right to appoint whoever he likes.
Absolutely, anybody.
He can appoint a sergeant. He can appoint and retire everybody from sergeant all the way up.
No, I'm sure he won't do that.
Of course he won't do that.
That would be too much. Just too much. Just too much.
That was just a joke.
Let's look at this one from the Punch. When I saw this video yesterday, someone quoted the video by saying, "Oh, a representative called a woman a dog." So I listened to her say, "Oh, she said a thug," but I'm not sure that's even better. I'm sure that's not even better.
I could have sworn that I heard dog. But later it was written as thug.
I listened to it like 6 times. I think you said thug.
Yes, you're talking of Senator Oluremi Tinubu, who is a senator for my constituency and senator for my state. First of all, I'd like to apologize to the woman who was called a thug or dog. It is not a tradition in Lagos to do so, more so for our women. It is not a tradition for our women to quote and unquote abuse people in public. I don't know what it is. I don't know whether it's a short temper. I honestly can't put my finger on it. But I'm not too happy with the fact that the senator from my state, where the heart of Lagos is, gets involved in these tiffs and public embarrassment, both to the state and the people of Lagos. So I'm a Lagosian. I apologize to the woman who was treated in such a manner. Well, like I said, we have 2023 to rectify that. These things are going to come into consideration when we choose our leaders. We are going to look at their mien. How do they behave in public space? What example do they set to our children? These are the things that are going to determine, I hope will determine who we have to tidy up the public space now or never. Because if we for 20 years we've had this kind of incident happen, it means that a child who was about 20 years ago seeing this consistently is now a 20-something-year-old child. So you shouldn't be. But because you see, one thing I do know in public, even if you are not a public officer, there's a demeanor. Even if people throw certain things at you, in public, you must
be able to bear.
Yes. I mean, a situation where she was the one who somebody said, I will impregnate you. Of course, that kind of thing had all kinds of implications. I don't want to it's a Friday and don't want to get involved in things like that. And I've been involved also with the Senator, what's the journalist, Smart Adewuni, and so many, a few other things here and there. Let me be very, very blunt. Senator Tinubu needs to tidy up her public disposition. She needs to tidy it up.
Aside this video, some of the feelers I also got from the constitutional review yesterday was like she was practically in a lot of people's faces, even in the hall. A lot of feelers I got from people who were present there. There were a lot of complaints about how they were treated. I think
treated by who?
By the representatives.
Oh, I see.
Apparently she chaired or co-chaired the sitting, so it was coming more from the table. It's this idea that public servants aren't reading your servant, that they are superior to you.
Well, the truth is, we were not there. I mean, so it's difficult for me to comment on it, and it's not in the newspapers. But I think that if you're a senator, indeed, any full-grown, matured adult, you must avoid, for all you know, we don't know what prompted her calling the woman a dog. But you see, part of maturity is for you to absorb such things, in the name, and then you can do the needful that you might think you want to do much later. But these public outbursts and things is not befitting of a senator of my state. It serves us right though in Lagos. You see what has happened. I have always said, and we have our elders and traditional rulers too. You always, for your Senate and House of Reps, you put somebody who has the spirit. Who has the spirit of your area? The senator from Lagos Central must be a Lagosian, have the spirit, not by law, but by convention. Must have the spirit of Lagos in them. This is not the spirit of Lagos. I'm sorry to say. I'm ashamed though.
Would you recommend some sort of finishing school?
No, how can you recommend finishing school for an adult? When I was in secondary school, I've been told not not to fight or whatever. I wouldn't have done this when I was in Form 1 in Methodist Boys High School.
Yeah.
Yadada would have beaten the daylight out of you. I mean, let's be honest with ourselves.
Right.
So I don't know why we would elect and appoint or whatever it is, then take them to finishing school. Well, the public office is not a finishing school.
It should be finished
It
before
should
you
be finished,
come up.
and you should be the one setting examples for others.
Yeah.
It is shameful, and I'm trying so hard to restrain myself not to show my real anger, the real anger that I have inside me.
Should I help you by moving on to another story?
I think you should, because I'm wondering. Imagine if it was my wife, I'd know what to do. This kind of thing for some of us could jolly well lead to a divorce between a man and his wife. Yes, because I would
Otoyen.
Matoyen now, because you're representing. I wouldn't do that. You wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry to get personal, if your husband did it, I know you'd be very angry.
Is it? Oh boy, I was shocked.
But let me quickly. I'm not casting a whatever of guilty on her, but I'm just saying that she should learn to show a bit more restraint, and that for us in 2023, these are the little things put together that should come into consideration who we elect to represent us.
Let's talk about something else that came out from the Constitutional Review. This is a headline from the Vanguard newspaper. Don't introduce Sharia to Southwest, PFN warns Senate. So it's not practically the Senate. It's like a body came up at the review asking for Sharia in the Southwest.
Now agitation has now become a way of life. People agitate for... There was one story here, I think somewhere in the East, somebody is asking for another state.
Another state?
Yes.
Okay.
And I was asking for another state. And the little peace and quiet that we have, I wonder why anybody would be thinking of introducing Sharia to the Southwest. For what reasons? For what reasons? But if you want to heat up the polity, good luck to everybody. I'm getting fed up of all these things. We're all behaving, some of us are behaving like children. We're behaving like children. What we're trying to do is to get ourselves in a position where we can put food on the table, send our children to school, have good hospitals, to have a good life. But everybody wants to take part in one agitation or the other because they feel that, it's the time for me to show my right. Good luck to Nigeria. If that's what you want, so be it. I mean, we've lived peacefully. What has Sharia got to do with us here?
Well, they're saying they want it for their members, for their Muslim members.
Then you will see what. Then it can be extended. Then the Celestial Church of Christ can say they want for their members. The traditional worshippers can. Then we all let's go the whole hog. If we have decided not to be matured and we keep throwing these things, let's be honest. We have too many pranksters in our society. I'm sorry to use such a heavy word. But it's like everybody now wants to be seen to be agitating for something. I don't know where this world is going. Go to the social media and see some things that will make you cringe. Everybody now wants to be a blogger. Look at what happened when that actor was accused of whatever it is. The kind of things I saw that were sent to. And please, I like to plead with people: don't send me these videos. Either the ones for or against Odudua, for or against Biafra. Don't send me any video, please. I'd like to plead with people. I've just about had enough. Everybody wants his own position to be heard and wants his own position to be taken.
And that gets us nowhere.
Because I can say categorically as a Yoruba man and as somebody who comes from a Muslim background, I don't know what Sharia has. I don't know what advantage Sharia places on anybody. I can't understand it. I don't understand it. These are pranks that people are playing. You just want to heat up the country. Okay? Now, before you know it now, some people will start going on rallies, on this, on that. We want Sharia. And this is going to present a difficulty.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's going to present a difficulty.
And like you said, once you begin to have other people,
Onifa
calls,
everybody, then the Christians will say, no, we don't want Sharia, we want Sharia. You start on the social media, it gets to the public. If you're not careful, it leads to violence. I think some people are determined to set this country alight. And I pray that God in his infinite mercies. I said yesterday that Gani Adams will Yakuma shake me. So I can't shake it too.
Let me not complete it for you. Okay, let's talk about the additional state creation. Pardon if you don't understand. Please just do Google Translate. Vanguard has a story. Unwodo demands additional state creation for Southeast as the former president general of the Apex Igbo Social-Cultural Group, Ohaneze Ndigbo John Nia Unwodo. Yesterday called for the creation of Adada state in the Southeast.
I don't know. I had some of my brothers want Ijebu state and so on and so forth. Look, let's get real. These states are not viable. In fact, left to me, what we should be doing is collapsing the states and empowering the local governments more.
That's
Why
it.
do we do this?
774 local
you have
governments.
a state, then you have a deputy governor, then you have a governor, house of assembly. This
County
the whole
councillors, then you create local governments within them all over
process.
again.
Coming from Ogbuefi, what is his title now? Let me be very careful. There's no title here, but Ogbuefi is an elderly man. Ogbuefi John Nwodo. This is not the time to start thinking of creating another state. Excuse me. This is the time when we should be collapsing. They are not viable. This is the time we should be collapsing the states and making sure that the local governments can carry out the functions ascribed to them and that they are well funded and well monitored, because it's not funding alone, but they are well funded and well monitored. So I don't know where this is coming from. I don't know what the argument would be for this. But in a bid to be a lot of latter-day activists, we have been an activist all my life. And we've always learned to be moderate. I'm meant to be open-minded. I've been an activist all my life from university. Those who went to school with me know. But latter-day activists are the greatest problems that we have. They're suddenly excited at the fact that you can talk on the papers, and 3/4 of them were silent during the military. They were in the same bed with the military. They couldn't talk way back then for fear of only God knows what. But now it looks as if it's open to sin, and anybody can say or do as he likes. God in his infinite mercies will forgive them. So that rectifies it.
Oh my goodness. I hope you guys catch the joke. Okay. The Punch newspaper is here with another one. Oh, out to Kano Jets. Okay. National Assembly members in the U.S. Really? Nigeria Air Force expects 6 jets in July. What are the National Assembly members? Are they going to practice a flight at
sometimes I forget that there's YouTube. I can see my expression, I keep forgetting on YouTube, and that's why I never really wanted to do TV. I thought that I could keep my expressions to myself, but you guys have opened me up on YouTube because it doesn't add up to me. Let me read the story to you. It says that members of the National Assembly Joint Committee on Defense and Air Force have traveled to the United States of America to inspect the progress on the Nigerian Air Force A-29 Super Tucano aircraft. If they wanted to go on a vacation, they should jolly well have said so. Because what do they know about the technicalities? Where are you going to?
If they explain to them,
you get to the United States, you say, okay, we want to see the progress on our Tucano jets, and they take you around to go around the whole. Will probably take you about 2 days, and you won't know what you won't be able to pick what is yours and what is not. You won't even know what's going on, because National Assembly are not technocrats. Okay, they're not technocrats, and now apparently it must be the 2 houses. So you are talking of a delegation of 2025. Now the next question is this, and the crucial question: who is funding this trip? Is it the supplier? If it is the supplier, if it is, then it begins to call for a second look. Because in developed countries, it is moving very close to lobbying and bribery. If it is the supplier that has, that is paying the bill,
more towards lobbying.
If it is the National Assembly that is all now taking care of this bill, then we need to call our leaders to question about wasting funds. The Air Force that is concerned, the Air Force itself should just send 1 or 2 people, and you don't need to. All you need to do is wait for delivery.
Yeah. You already know what's coming. There's a specification.
And the pilots you will send for training and whatever can monitor the progress at the same time.
Yeah.
So I would like the National Assembly to clear if it is the what's the name of the company now, the Embraer Defense Security Incorporated that are footing the bill, then it might call for proper investigation. It's moving close to bribery. And if it is the National Assembly, what the National Assembly has done, in my mind, is provide a holiday, a nice holiday in the United States for some members of our National Assembly. Either which way it is, it doesn't look good.
Well, let's see this one from the Metro page of the Punch newspaper. Police impound 70 Okadas, declare fresh clamps down on Lagos errant riders. Also says some things about suspected cultists are arrested. I'll just merge that with this one. Western Wolu says parents of children convicted of cultism will be punished.
Yes, let me take that one first. And I'm going to say this. I'm going to help the governor to say this. I will say it in two languages, in pidgin. If they catch your pikin in the do calls, you self don't enter B. That is, yes, if they catch your pikin, that means that if your pikin never reach 18, it dey under your control. You self don't enter B. Ẹ̀yin tí ọmọ yín bá lọ ṣe cult, kẹ́ fa ọmọ yín létí, ẹ̀yin náà máa fara gbáǹbẹ̀, tí ẹ lè mú àwọn ọmọ yín kẹ́ mú wọn mọ́lẹ̀. Now, don't ask me to say it.
I was just
So I will start with that. And I saw, look, things have gotten out of hand. Some at 14. Where were their parents when all these boys were out at 1 a.m., 2 a.m.? Back in the day when we had parents, it is your parents that will march you to the police station to say that this child,
Over your
Mokoma, I don't know what he's doing. I don't want to say that. I won't see this. But then, okay. And the story about the police impounding 70 Okadas, we all support the clampdown and so on and so forth. But the low-hanging fruits that will give us that confidence is not being attended to. I almost had an accident on the Eko Bridge yesterday. Do you know why? There were this horde of Okadas coming from Akmogbon. When they get to the Jora section, they want to cross to the other side. So one of the bikes that was crossing to the other side, he couldn't, because it's quite high. He almost fell back, and I would have overrun him. I'd have been in the cell now, charged for maybe killing or maiming somebody while driving. Governor Sanwo-Olu should. I know it's not easy for him, but we didn't elect him to be governor for it to be easy for him. Let us see what you are doing with the low-hanging fruits. If you are arresting 70 Okadas wherever in Lagos, how come you still have these Okadas on Eko Bridge? Clear the low-hanging fruits, Ikorodu Road, the ones that people can see first. Then you will have the confidence of the people. I know it had security implications. I've been well briefed about what's going on. I've been well primed and briefed and so on and so forth. No problem. But at least in some areas, stop this impunity where these people believe that they're above the law. Go and make sure that there is not one single Okada on Eko Bridge, on Third Mainland, on Broad Street, on Western Avenue, Funshaw Williams Avenue, the low-hanging fruit, Maryland, and then you can start clearing backwards. You can start clearing. Try and keep pushing them and pushing them and pushing them.
Let's take a final one because of time. And this is a salute to Mamanike Davies, 70.
Yes. I'm glad I can do this. All of you know Mamanike Davies Okundaye. She turned 70. In case you don't know, my mother has this
big Adire.
But how does she carry it?
Oh, it's light. It's Adire now. I can imagine that it's very light.
Do you know? I'd like to visit her, Maybe
her gallery? Yeah.
Yes. But you have to have money.
Yes, actually.
I'm not going to go into a gallery and come out empty.
Empty-handed is not possible.
But we should bring her here.
Yes, you should.
I pay tribute to her. We will.
Yeah.
I will do that. If there's anybody who can help me, please get in touch. And Mama talks about this is an editorial to honor her, and she says that I started using figures and images. The Ajere itself doesn't have figures. So she started using figures and images, and when people came, the locals did not buy it. But the Oyinbos did, the white people. And whenever they come, they would open mine and buy them. I would explain the imagery on my design to them in Yoruba because then I could not speak English. And then it says it also explains why her textiles are pricey.
Yeah.
But I think that Mama will give me a discount as her beloved.
You tell her.
Other than that, as her beloved, so I forgot that I'm a 66-year man. I cannot be so 70. You know what funny thing is?
Cuts.
I don't feel my age, in all honesty. I don't feel.
Yeah, but that's great.
I want to say that I'm a favorite son to Mama. And then what
No, co-balance.
4 years.
We really need to go now because of
Okay.
our adverts. The comments are pouring in. Jimmy Disu is back at 9.
Yes, I'm back at 9.
So make sure you don't miss it. And I'll be back after the break for hot takes. Don't go away.
You know that feeling when you keep downloading and streaming interesting videos, but your mind keeps whispering, continue, your pockets go here. But not anymore. When you subscribe to MTN's affordable and reliable monthly data bundles, you will enjoy 10 gigabyte with just 3,000 naira and 20 gigabyte for 5,000 naira only. Plus, a whopping
99.3 Nigeria. More than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.